Hi, this is Robert Battle, Artistic Director of the Albanale American Dance Theater, and we're thrilled to be performing live on stage again.
Coming to the Arts Center February 25th through 26th. Tickets.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Just Talking Business, and I'm Stephanie, a small business owner. I'd like to start by saying thank you to our sponsor, the Adrian R. Center, who is going to be showing the Albanale Dance Theater this Friday and Saturday. If you have not been, it is a must-attend activity. We really want to make sure we get a lot of folks out there to enjoy basically African-American talent during Black History Month. So we definitely I hope to see you there. Please, if you go, let me know. If you see me, say hello. I'd love to know that you found out about it through us. Now, without further ado, we're going to talk to a young man that I met through Startup FIU. Startup FIU, yes. He is a food business owner. The meal delivery service has been very new to me, so I didn't learn just as much as you do today. Please meet Ivo D'Aguiar. Hi, Ivo.
Yeah. Hi, D'Aguiar. Yes. How you doing?
I was like, before we start, say that last name again.
D'Aguiar.
D'Aguiar. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mess that up. I'm really sensitive about people's names. So
That's great.
thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get started, let me find out who you are and what you do.
Awesome. So thanks, Stephanie. Thanks for inviting me to have this conversation today. My name is Ivo. I've been in the restaurant industry for the past 15 years. I've had I'm actually from Brazil, so I had a couple restaurants back at home, and I just love this business. I think it's so amazing, and I'm also a chef. I'm also the vice president for American Culinary Federation in the Miami chapter. So I'm glad that you invite us to have this conversation today. So it's gonna be fun.
See, that's one of those questions I didn't have down here. I didn't know there was a restaurant federation. There are a lot of members. There are a lot of restaurants. So there are a lot of members.
Yeah. Miami has a lot of restaurants, and the main idea of the American Culinary Federation is to bring all those chefs together to share knowledge, to share experience, and also to help each other on the a lot of networking, right?
Okay.
So it's
Okay. Well, okay. Now let's get down to your business in particular. You are a meal delivery service, correct?
yes. So we started with a company in September last year. The restaurant business went through a very rough time during COVID. It was one of those business where we had to completely shut it down, and
Really?
by that, yeah, and some of the business had had to keep just the delivery service, and by that time I was the executive chef of a very well known restaurant here in Miami. Actually, it was a food hall, and we had to stop our operations as a chef, as a cook. We didn't have much to do, just to keep running as a delivery service, and that meal prep company was a project that I was studying like 6 years ago, and every time we said that's the right time to launch it. We had something, we had another opportunity, another project, and we move it on. So during COVID, it was just perfect. It was just the right time. I wasn't. I used to do. We used to have a cooking school also, so we used to teach a lot of classes. And I said, now maybe it's the right time to start the company. So we started as Nidus. It used to be called Nidus Foods.
Okay.
And we started in September 2020. And once we launched the company, we started to get a lot of calls because of people was struggling with food, people during COVID, For those who didn't know how to cook or they didn't have
Mhm.
time to cook because they were working home, they were having a lot of problems. So we sent a couple tryouts, and those people who tried called us and said, can I have it right now? Can I start to order?" So that was our MVP.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we did a couple things to make it special, and
Mhm.
that's how we started. So one
Very
year
cool.
later, yeah, one year later, a group of customers that just love the food said, "Hey, we got some money, and we would like to invest in your company."
Very
So
nice.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we did a whole study on the process, how to improve, what we could grow. We did a lot of benchmarking with our competitors, and we realized we had a lot of changes to do. So we decided
Mhm.
to change the name and everything to show a little bit of this new project that we were thinking about. So
Very
we
nice.
just launched Y'all Foods.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now we're in soft opening, and everything is online. We're still testing the platform and everything. We hired a whole tech company to build that project, and now we start delivering in Miami-Dade and Broward area only, and
Okay.
now the idea is to expand to the entire United States. So
Very
um,
cool. So
yeah,
here's what I found very interesting. Um, the meal delivery service. Honestly, I had never really heard of it until the pandemic, really. Did a little research and realized that I believe in my research, it says something like the first meal kit was sent out in Switzerland in 2007, which is really 14 years that this business has been around, which is not a lot of time. Um, but it's already 6.9 billion, what is it? Billion dollar business, maybe. Um,
yeah.
what do you attribute that to? Like that couldn't have been just the pandemic. I mean, we're sort of on the other side of the pandemic, especially when it comes to food, but it's still going very strong. What have
Yeah,
you learned from your clients
yeah,
that
the
did?
thing is, people doesn't know they have a problem until they someone comes up with an idea and they say, okay, so now I need this. And most of the people used to eat from restaurants. They
Mhm,
most of the people used to, just order food, or maybe they used to buy just frozen food. Also, the logistics part of it, it's very
mhm,
interesting because delivering food through the entire United States, it needs to be quick, and the
mhm,
packaging and everything is a huge challenge. So I think once people realize, oh, okay, so now I can have this fresh food that doesn't have any additives, no preservatives.
mhm,
I know the source of the food made by a chef,
mhm,
and
mhm.
it's ready. It's gonna make my life a lot simpler. And
Okay.
they realized, okay, so now I can order through this subscription model where I can get every week the meal that I want. So
Mm.
I think that's the biggest point of it. And once we can pack that and send it through the entire United States in 1 2 days,
Mhm.
boom, that
It's
makes
talking
it
about.
it makes a difference. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. So now people, it's like they're enjoying restaurant grade food with a better price,
Mhm,
and the food's
mhm.
still fresh, never frozen, and they get those delivers every week. So that's, I think
So
it's a great solution.
I do too. Actually, I do too. I've actually been looking into it myself. Haven't delved in yet. But in my research, I found it kind of interesting that you definitely also still have this sense of variety or sense of marketing. So I found one that's all about healthy foods and mostly veggies and that kind of stuff. One that's kind of centered around maybe soul food, which is something that I would be looking for. There's that comfort food platform. How do you market? Who would be your ideal target market?
So we're doing right now international food. That's our
Mm,
base. We want to have good options for those who wants to. eat healthier, but we're not focused on any specific diet.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
go to most of the meal preps, they are focused like 100% on keto or vegan or vegetarian. We serve good food, where we work with producers. We want to work locally sourced, and we want to bring fresh ingredients to our kitchen. And but the most of it is we want to produce food for those who doesn't have time to prepare it, but
Right.
they're still looking for a great food. We also gonna launch soon. Um, uh, Based on a specific niche that's going to be for diabetic people, because we've seen a lot of people that's like it's diabetic. They cannot eat a lot of sugar or carbohydrates, so we want to make those well balanced foods. But the idea of y'all means you all, right? So very Southerner, and
From the
we want
South,
to,
I'm very
yeah.
familiar.
Exactly. So we want to make food for everybody. We want to make food for those who enjoy eating a great food without having the trouble of making, or if even for example a burger. We have a burger here that we sell. Yeah, all our products are vacuum packed, and you can make like an amazing burger that we sous vide for perfection, and you can make it at your home without any smelling of a burger on the entire house. So we
Very
have
cool.
those many options. Yeah.
So, okay, so you pivoted from the restaurant business to the meal delivery business. What have you found to be the differences or the similarities and in that business? And do you ultimately feel like the meal delivery business will take a bit of a market share away from the restaurant business?
Um, yeah, it does take a little bit. Remember, everybody needs to eat, and we are always going to be sharing, market share. Some people it's going to eat at home. Some people it's going to eat from the restaurants. Some people it's going to eat from the meal prep delivery services. But everybody needs to eat. By the end of the day, it's all food that is going to be passing through one market share to another. I see that, yeah, the delivering food makes a lot easier. And for example, the biggest problem is that people get used to the food, so they need to change a lot. And then meal prep delivers are a great opportunity to try out something new, every day. We're always changing our menus to make sure people it's enjoying the food and they're not getting used to it.
But
Um,
operationally, what are you finding are your differences? Are you having to hire more people? Are you having to buy more equipment? What does that layout look like?
yeah, the idea, yeah, we always have to bring new people, and that's great because growing an operation, we need good people to do it. Something special about our products that it's vacuum packed. So if you compare with if you check our competitors, most of them they serve on a tray, where it takes a lot of space on the fridge. The food it doesn't. It comes to your home with oxygen content, so it spoils quicker. So we develop a process of pasteurization where the product stays inside a vacuum sealed bag, and we're even bringing from Brazil a bag that's made of sugar cane, so it's a biomaterial. So we lower the impact on the environment, and the environment for us is very important.
Is that a
Uh,
patented process for you?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is that a patented process for you? Meaning the
No,
vacuum pack? Okay.
no. It's something that I think everyone could do. But the process that we developed internally, it gives without adding any artificial preservative, gives us an extra life compared to those products that competitors that serves on trays, for example.
Okay.
So if you
Well,
if
but see,
yeah.
so this is what I guess I wanted to really drill down on. The restaurant business, I've been told, because I've actually had a couple of guests here, can be a very tricky business operationally because of, food, expiring in a certain amount of time, making sure you're buying enough product, I guess, having enough personnel, all of the equipment that's needed for a restaurant. It sounds like, and it feels like to me that you have sort of the same concerns, expenses, challenges, but now you've added sort of a expedited delivery, mail and shipping component to it. What do you, in when you're looking at expenses, when you're looking at the operational requirements, when you're looking at all of that, are you feeling like it's the same, or is it completely different type of business?
No, it is similar. I just love the restaurant business. I started my life as an engineer, and later on I felt so passionate about the restaurant business that I said, you know what, that's what I want to do it
Mm-hmm.
for my entire life. But the thing is, I used to say to my colleagues, my friends, that the restaurant business is the most difficult business. You have like an industry in a commerce and a service company. So you
Mm-hmm.
get a product that spoils really quick. You have to change that product really quick, and we have to serve high level of
Mm-hmm.
food. We have to transform that food and give it to the people, and people could die if they eat something that you
Good point.
made it. Yeah, they can get any food poisoning. So you have to be uh, very attentive to what you're doing. I think it's one of the most difficult business around there.
I
But
agree.
people just loves to make food, and they really want to join the restaurant business. But it is tough. It is very difficult. So on the meal prep delivery service, I think the main difference between the restaurant business and the meal prep is because the restaurant business, I have my client in front of me, and I have to deliver
Mm-hmm.
food in what, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the meal prep, I have a little bit more time to organize, to plan myself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we have a more planning. This way, also, I can give a lot more diverse menu, having less people working with me. But all the food that I make, instead of making like small portions of it, I make like larger amounts of it. So since I do everything online, and the service usually takes from the time you order to the time you get the food, usually takes between 3 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
On those 3 to 5 days, I have time to plan myself, to create
Mm-hmm.
those dishes
Mm-hmm.
and to deliver to everyone. So it's something that I have more planning, and I can also define with more assertive what I'm going to be serving
What
to my
is the
clients.
So, what is a margin for a meal delivery service? What do the margins look like?
It is a good margin. We can work with up to 70% a margin, but
Wow,
yeah,
that's similar to
you
a
know
restaurant business. They have very large margins as well.
yeah, but the thing is, we have to be. It's a very, very competitive industry. So
Mhm.
if you check it online, for example, you told me that you was looking
Mhm.
online, and now you're going to be bombarded by those ads from many, many different
Mhm.
meal prep deliveries service. So if you when we started the company, um, once we searched it online, we had like maybe 4 or 5 companies that was like spending a lot of money on ads. Now we
Mhm.
have a lot of those companies, spending. So the market share now, it's getting shorter and shorter, and all those companies are making all those huge promotions, making these margins tighter. The
All
other
right.
thing is the other things about startups. It's not only on the restaurant business, but on the startup business. Now those big investors are coming and injecting a lot of money on the company. So
Okay.
most of the companies are not profitable, and
Right.
because
Absolutely.
what they're looking for is to grow their bases to make the company profitable in the future. So
Okay.
what's happening right now is a lot of companies are dumping prices to get more market share. then we have to be very careful about this because this can kill the company. The
You're kind of
impact
fading in and
the
out a little
industry.
bit. You were fading out a little bit, but I think you sort of stopped at where you were saying, because that was very intriguing. People are dumping prices so they can get more investment. Is that what you were saying? I think
They got the background.
I think you froze, and that's when I'm getting the good juicy information. I think you've frozen. I hear you a little bit. Not sure what to say to do. Let's see. Let's give it a moment.
So we can.
Hey, okay, well, may I make a recommendation? Maybe if you'll pop out and pop back in, maybe that'll help. And I'll be right here waiting for you, just because you've frozen and I'm not sure what else to do. Hello? Did I lose you? Hello? I'm not sure what's happening, but Facebook can see what did you see. He's gonna come back in. He's gonna come back in. So in the meantime, he got right to the good part. I was really excited about hearing about what's happening in the industry. But that meal delivery stuff is very impressive to me. But as we wait for him to come back in, and once again, I'd like to kind of share and thank our sponsors, the Adrian Art Center. They have been a great partner of mine for a minute now, actually, to be truthful with you. So the minute they asked if we would be a support to them, we jumped right on it because we felt this was a great opportunity for synergy. Please check out the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. But also check out the rest of their schedule. Their schedule is chocked full of great shows. There's a Patti LaBelle show coming up in March. There's just been a wealth of very entertaining, culturally diverse programs out there, and we want to make sure we support, in particular, our own. Hey, there he is. Okay, perfect. Hey,
Okay.
you're back. Yay! I was like, that's when he was getting into the juicy part.
Yeah. So I guess I had a problem with the internet, so I'm connecting on my cell phone here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
So you were right at the part where you said, I guess the industries are dumping their prices because there's a great deal of investment.
Yeah. So the thing is, what I think is not only from the restaurant or the meal prep delivery, but what's happening right now with every single startup. We see Uber over there. We see all those big companies that it was most of the time they're not profitable. So what happened is that these big investors, they come and they need to grow their bases. They needed to bring more customers in, and what they usually do, they dump prices, and once they dump prices, they got more of the shares of the market share. But then those small people like us, like the ones that are beginning, it's very hard to compete because we cannot dump our prices and make our company unprofitable. So this is something that we needed to deal with competitive industries.
You're right. I mean, actually, I'm not in the food business. I'm in the promotional media business, but you're right. That's absolutely been happening across the board. So I'm always trying to figure out how do we combat that? Or do we just kind of stand up and hope that our product is enough? And that's a hard thing to say when people are, your products might be the best thing they've ever had in life, but if I got $20, I've got $20. I can't
Exactly.
more than that. So, how do you fight that market? And also in your industry, we're both here in Miami. The restaurant business is there's a wealth of restaurants here, but it's a short lifespan for many of them. There are very few restaurants that last decades, and even recently, some of the ones that we've seen that last a decade folded. So, what do we think is going? Do we think that'll be the same for sort of this meal delivery, or do we think that we have much more potential? Because here in Miami, a lot of the restaurant business is built on experience. It's food, but it's also experience. With a meal prep, you don't have that challenge. So, do you think that you could have a little bit more longevity in a meal delivery
Yeah,
service?
yeah, I think we have a long longevity, but the thing is, we need to reinvent ourselves every day. We need to be creating new dishes. We need to be understanding our costs. Right now, with the cost fluctuation, it's just crazy. You go to the supermarket
Mhm.
and people, I think everybody can see that. We see a
Yes.
little bit of inflation. And for our business, it's very, very hard to raise prices every day. We cannot do this, or else we're gonna be losing more and more customers. So it's
Absolutely.
something, yeah, it's something that we need to handle like almost every day. Look for the sources. I like to work with small producers to understand, how can we get a better price, but we also, get an amazing product.
Mhm, mhm.
Changing, being creative, it's also something that I said already. That's very, very important because, like I said, you can pay, you know, $2 for a meal, and then you have another guy that sells his meals for 12, $13 a meal. But then you kind of get used to those $2 meals, and you still want to have this amazing service. So
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
when you start to try out and say, oh, okay, maybe I can pay a little bit more right now, have this better product, or to be served a better, a bigger amount of food. So that's another thing. Once I order from my competitors to do benchmark, what I can
Mhm.
see is, okay, they sell sometimes products that are a little bit more expensive, but the portions are not enough to feed one people.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
so and this is something that we have on our mission,
Mhm.
to we want to feed people. We don't want you to buy a food that you order and you say, okay, I paid less for this food, but by the end of the day, I'm hungry.
I'm
I have to,
starving.
yeah, I mean, I have to eat 2 or 3 meals to have enough food. So we want to serve a good amount of food also, so people can feel satisfied.
Well, do you feel, I mean, you tapped on something that again is not on my list here. Is you're locally sourced or you try to be locally sourced, which I think is awesome. And by the way, we
Mm,
are in Miami, but yes, we do have farmlands down south. So you
exactly.
can't be locally sourced here. Which I know where I'm from. People are like, you have farms, and I'm from Georgia, where there are farms. For real. Do you? I mean, is that something that is an intentional? Occurring intentionally in the restaurant business? Is it happening as a result of the shift in pricing in grocery stores? Has there always sort of been that willingness and desire to give back to your community in some way in the restaurant business?
Yeah, we're always doing something for the community.
Mhm.
So we have a project that we work together on our kitchen to also help, homeless people. We
Mhm.
give a food for the homeless every Wednesday and Saturdays.
Oh.
We're always trying to, to help others, and we understand that the restaurant industry has a big chain. Most of the people thinks the restaurant or the meal prep deliver the food and beverage business as just that local that
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's not. It's a big chain, and all starts on the producers that creates the food, and then it comes to the traders and all the supermarkets and
Mhm.
those big distributors, the small distributors, and us that provides the food for the final client. But
Mhm.
if any part of this chain is weak, we all fall. So we need to help each other. We need to be supporting each other, or else our industry is not going to survive. We see those. restaurants closing all over the world because they don't have
Mm-hmm.
a food chain, a strong food chain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest challenge for a chef or for a restaurateur is to create this chain and make sure everybody's doing all right. You know, I cannot kill the producer. I cannot make him sell me food with for a price that is not profit for them, or else they're gonna die, and then I won't have a producer later on. So we need to
Absolutely.
make sure
Absolutely.
that entire chain is healthy.
Actually, I love the fact that we're going to end on that statement alone, because I'm definitely always the advocate of a small business. If you are a small business, the way you grow is really by servicing each other and being as you mentioned, sort of a chain for one another. So I agree. I think the restaurant business can be a definite leader in that realm in teaching the rest of us how to do that properly.
That's
So
true.
before you go, though, we want to find out, how do we find you?
Okay, online, um, yalfoods.com, yalfoods.com, and on Instagram or on Facebook, Yal Foods. Now we're gonna start also our YouTube channel. We want to put some recipes on it, so people, if they want to do something different at home, they can use our products, or if they want to just learn how to make something, uh, they can do it. So it's gonna
Very
be
nice.
fun.
Very, very nice. I think so as well. And then next time, maybe you won't have to be outside with the plane flying by.
Yeah, yeah, but that's how it works right now, right? This is the
Exactly.
internet life. So we're
Exactly. Thank goodness for technology. Thank goodness for
yeah,
technology.
that's
Thank
true.
you so much for joining us again, and just giving us some insight on this business. Again, good luck on the business. As soon as I hang up, I'm going to go Google you, because you talked about looking at recipes that are for people who are diabetic. So I definitely want to check out and try your services, and I'll keep people posted. Please keep us posted as to what you're doing as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. It was a huge pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. So, everyone, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It was, a powerful show for sure. As I mentioned, I met him at Startup FIU. It was a program that brought many small businesses together and helped them restructure a structure so that they can now thrive as a business. And so I've learned a lot just in talking to many other businesses. Next week, we are talking to another young man from the startup program, the FIU startup program. His name is Jeremy Etienne. His business is In Season, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think is like a physical workout program. So that's perfect, right? We're talking about good food, healthy food, and then working out as well. So I look forward to that. That is going to be next week, next Tuesday, 10 a.m. I hope to see you there. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great day.